It's update day today on World of Tanks console. We're going to have a look through all of the things that you need to know for this update, and we'll go through everything that could possibly come out this week. So, of course, we'll get right into the video. It will be timestamped for your convenience, so you can flick through whichever parts of the video you're most interested in, but we will cover every single aspect. So, first things first, of course, G.I. Joe season. We've got 2 weeks until the end of it, so make sure you get to season rank 100. Similarly, 2 weeks left if you want to pick up the G.I. Joe vehicles, which include the Hiss. We've got the Arctic Hiss, we've got the Mobat, we've also got the Roadblock and Baroness 3D commanders and their tanks, the Cobra Cat and the G.I. Joe Mauler. So if you want to pick up any of the premium Cold War vehicles, which are, to be honest with you, pretty overpowered in-game, then yes, you can pick them up within the next 2 weeks until the 24th of August. Of course, it is completely up to you whether you want to do that. I've given my opinions on Cold War many a time. I don't think that it's particularly well balanced at the minute, so if you're wanting to pick up any of the tanks to basically run riot in these next couple of months and earn tons and tons of silver, 400,000 silver per game on a good game, then yeah, I guess you can go for it. But as far as the other news within the game, of course, we've got the new G.I. Joe Armadillo tank coming into the game today. I will be trying to get a review of the tank as soon as I get my hands on it, which should be fairly soon, I think. This tank is basically a super fast light tank. This thing goes super quick, 16 shot autoloader. Yep, that's right, 16 shots in its autoloader, which means that you can pump out, I think, 1400 damage in total in one clip if you manage to pen all of the rounds, which unfortunately, due to the penetration, you're probably not going to be able to do, at least from the front of most of the vehicles in Cold War. Now, moving on. Key cards, of course, until the 24th, at which point they reset back to something else and we'll get a new set of premium tanks within the key cards that you can possibly get out of them. As far as some specific event operations and in-game items that you can complete and challenges and stuff like that, well, today we get given a new set of challenges, which is the We Struck Gold. It's featuring kind of this, the Klondike sale kind of thing. Not entirely sure whether or not some of these bundles are actually worth it, but we'll go through them. We have basically got this for 1 week. You'll be able to pick up these Yukon-themed kind of stuff, the Gold Rush-themed inscriptions, and basically all you have to do is place among the top 3 XP earners in a battle. You can do that twice per day to get 2 lots of each of these emblems. Is available for 1 week, so maximum emblems that you can get for free is 14, of course, if you complete them every single day that the operation is live. Now, themed bundles. So these are kind of the bit of the game where, oh god, well, this is where Wargaming try to sell off some of the tanks within the game, and this week, actually, as part of the Klondike sales, there's some decent tanks in here, and often, that's not really the case. First one being the most notable one, and that is the Feel the Rush bundle. It comes with the Bat-Chatillon Barrasque, which, to be honest with you, is one of my favourite medium tanks in the game. It's so quick, it's got that double pump gun on this thing, which allows you to do 720 alpha damage super quickly to your opponents. It's like left, right, good night. 190 pen on its standard rounds and 240 on its premium, meaning that this tank basically doesn't have any trouble at tier 8 of penetrating the opponents that you're going to be coming up again. Now, as far as the DPM, yes, it is pretty poor. 4 rate of fire, 4.14 rounds a minute, but yeah, this tank is absolutely perfect, to be honest with you. Yes, the DPM suffers a little on this tank, meaning you've probably got in the region of 1440 alpha damage per kind of, or damage per minute, but the aim time, yes, may be low, but with the accuracy buffs that 6.0 basically gave to World of Tanks within the update, it allows you to take advantage of the Barrasque so much more. You can shoot on the move all of the time, which was kind of one of the problems that a lot of people faced on PC with the Barrasque, is obviously firing on the move, and the potential to spot with a 390 meters vision range is super good. So yes, 10,250 gold in my personal opinion, given that you get the CS52 list and the Centurion Mark 5/1 RAAC. The medium tanks, to be honest with you, 10,000 gold is pretty cheap, considering I think I got the Barask for 8,000 gold itself. So yeah, I think that this tank is probably, or this bundle is actually probably one of the best bundles I've seen in a long time. Then you have the heavy tank bundle now. This is one I would probably avoid. Yes, you can get the T77 heavy tank. Is it particularly overpowered? No, not really. It's kind of a worse version of the T54E2. So if you've played on PC, you'll know it as the Renegade. But yeah, that gets the same sort of gun on it. The 3-shot autoloader of 360 alpha damage, but reloads quicker, has better armor, and basically is more mobile. And yeah, I think that that's kind of sums up the T77. It's just a worse version. As far as the other tanks, Kiravet's one is okay, it's just the Scourge, and then of course you get the T103, which is a fun tank destroyer, 14,480 gold, probably not worth it. Then we have the Prospectors, which is a bundle of 2 tier 8s and a tier 6, bearing in mind the Rover 237 is absolutely broken in the game. It's basically a T37 from the tech tree, souped up, goes super quick as a light tank, and then they've bundled in the TANK, which is a really novel tank. You get 660 alpha damage on a light tank at tier 8 with heat rounds that can do slightly less damage, or you can alternatively fire premium HE that does the same amount of damage and has higher penetration. Not like Wargaming to introduce something that is just probably not a balanced mechanic. It is literally pay to win in every single aspect of the game. Now, as far as the actual bundles, is it worth it? 8,910 gold for this? Well, if you're into your light tanks, maybe, potentially. But to be honest, the best bundle I would go with is the the Rush one, where you get the Barask, the Liss, and the Centurion Mark 5/1. Then we have Gold Fever, King Dragon Type 59, which I believe is the same as the King Dragon, or the Type 59-2. This one gets 390 alpha damage, which is infinitely better than the Type 59 standard version. 5 rounds a minute, 4.55, meaning you've got a total DPM of around 2,000, which is really good. And then you get, some nice aim time, which isn't awful for a medium tank. And yeah, you can go a decent speed as well. I think this tank is pretty good. And if you were looking at the price of it, 8,410, is it worth it? Probably not, to be honest with you. 50% savings, and you're bundled in with a pretty awful medium tank in the Warlord Panther at tier 7. Now, overall, what do I think of this week's bundles? Well, I think that they're pretty good. Are they super good? Are they anything that you have to get? No, not in particular, but I guess we'll move on to the next bit of the video. Now, of course, with this season, you get this, the new G.I. Joe tanks, and the Armadillo is this new one. It is that light tank we talked about earlier. If you want to pick it up, it will basically cost you 14,000 gold. It comes with the Hero Commander and 30 days of premium. We've talked about this tank in the previous video on the channel, so I won't go into it in too much detail. So if you want to check that out, then you can go to yesterday's video and have a look at what the Armadillo actually is. It is something titled Avoid This Update or something like that. Basically tells you everything you need to know about the Armadillo. And then, of course, we have some really nice things happening to the game as well. We have, unfortunately, the tank trade-in event, but which is also part of yesterday's video. So if you want to actually learn about the tank trade-in event, tell you why it's probably not something you would ever really want to use, then go to the previous video yesterday. And of course, the string theory operation is coming into World of Tanks console once again, which is absolutely fantastic. This is one of my favorite operations. It gets me to play the game every single time it goes live. It's available for 1 week. Basically, it allows you to get 5 times XP. Yes, it says plus 400%, but you get 100% standard, plus the 400% means you get a total of 500%, which is 5 times XP on a win, if you manage to streak 5 wins in a row. Now, for someone that's fairly established within the game, I've played 21,000 battles, getting 5 wins in a row isn't something that is super hard, but what I am saying is for newer players, yes, this operation is probably not as effective because, you don't know the game as much. You probably won't be winning as many games in a row, but I implore you to jump on the game, play the game this week, get as much XP within your tech tree tanks as possible, because, even the worst player in the game is going to be able to get 4 lucky wins in a row, giving them an extra 4 times XP on that win. And make sure, you try and perform to the best of your ability. And if you manage to do that over the course of the whole week, if you're playing 20 games per day, maybe a couple of them you get the 4 times XP bonus, or alternatively, maybe you actually get 5 wins in a row, you can be seeing XP results in-game of around 20,000 on a times 5 XP, especially if you combine the times 5 XP from the String Theory with the times 5 XP boost that you might have stocked up over the course of these seasons that have come out, meaning you can get like times 10 XP in one game. And yes, I have seen XP results up to like 30,000 XP in one game, which is utterly ridiculous. And it means that, yes, I've ground through some of the worst tier 8s in the game within, say, 30 or 40 battles when I took advantage of the String Theory, platooned up with my friends that are a little more experienced, and then we managed to string 5 wins together fairly easily and just keep rinsing and repeating the String Theory. If you then get 6 wins in a row, or 7 wins, or 8 wins, you just remain at the times 5 XP. So if you do actually get the chance to platoon up with some of the best players in the game if possible, then yes, if you go past the 5 battles in a row, you will just continuously get times 5 XP. And in the past, I've strung together probably like 15 wins in a row, meaning I basically got myself through some of the worst stock tech tree grinds, especially when there was times 5 platoons. But unfortunately, there's only 3 now, so get your hands on 2 good players, play with them. Try and get this String Theory to your advantage and go through tanks like the Leo and some of the awful tanks within the tech trees that you are struggling with. So yeah, the String Theory, absolutely big, massive thumbs up from me. Gets people playing the game, certainly rewards people for playing their tech tree counterparts, and yes, it means that they can get through some of the worst ones that they play. So big thumbs up for me. Of course, this week, continuation of the Object 268 version 5 earn operation. So yes, you can get this tank for free as long as you come on, you do the tasks, you manage to get through all of the information regarding the Object 268. We can go over a little bit over the tank itself, but if you want to check out the operation in detail, then you can go to my previous video. Basically, what you need to do, overall kind of overview of it, you need 400 points in total. You get 3 points for winning and coming top of your team, 2 points for coming second to fourth, or 1 point for coming within the top 7. So if you manage to come win the game, or not win the game, but if you come top XP earner on your team, you'll get 3 points. So effectively, you need 133 wins within this whole kind of time period that you've been given, which is until the 31st of August. So you have another, let's call it 3 weeks until this goes out of date, and you will not be able to pick up this tier 10 for free. So if you want to be able to pick up this tank, then yes, grind through this operation, take advantage of it, and get your hands on that tier 10. As far as the other information, of course, we've got the roll call coming up, which is basically an operation where you can get some key cards, some silver, and some XP boosters, and all you have to do is just place it among the top 10 XP earners on your team in a winning battle, which is fairly easy. Play a couple of games, you 100% have been able to do that. And basically, if you manage to complete it 15 times, which is kind of the key for this event, you'll get a top secret key card, which of course is the best key card, has the best chance of giving you a super good premium tank out of them. And yeah, if you don't manage to do that, you get a decent amount of gold as well. So essentially, you're getting about 500 gold minimum out of this, maybe, and a chance of getting a premium tank within the key cards too, as well as silver and boosters and whatever else comes with this operation. So if you're interested, make sure you jump onto tanks every single day, play it just a couple of battles just to get the place among the top 10 XP earners, do that multiple times, and within the period of until the 31st of August, if you rack up 15 completions, so 15 days, yes, you will be able to get the top secret key card. Then, of course, long haul, on every week until the 17th of August. Yes, you'll be able to pick up a free keycard if you place in the top 7 XP earners on your team in 75 battles, which is a long grind. Even I don't manage to usually ever get the long haul done. Of course, if I give the game a big chance and I'm playing a couple hours a day, then yes, I can almost complete it twice per week. But for the majority of casual players, you probably never complete the long haul, because 75 battles where you come in the top 7 doesn't really come across that often, at least in 1 week, unless you're smashing out an operation or an earn challenge or something like that. Then, as far as weekly deals, we've got 50% off the AMX Cannon de Assalto 105, which is an okay tank destroyer. Certainly not one of the ones that I'd guide a new player towards, at least. And then the Citadel Tiger 1, which is the tier 6 Tiger heavy tank, which is 2,000 gold. If you want to pick up any of these, I'd probably go with the Citadel Tiger, to be honest, out of the two, just because it's a lot cheaper and it's probably more new player friendly than the Cannon de Assalto, just because it actually has a turret as opposed to that French tank destroyer within the game. Of course, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. What do you think of these operation? And before we end the video, we want to look at the actual information that Wargaming have given us on the forum, so we'll look at that now. Of course, you have got the deals of the week and the personal offers, which this week are the Sommua SM, the Excelsior and the Terrapin Mark 1. As far as the personal offers that are actually decent, it's the Sommua, of course, being that French tier 8 heavy tank, which is really good. Autoloader, has a little bit of armor comparatively to something like the AMX 5100, the tech tree counterpart of the French heavy tanks at tier 8, and yes, I think that this one is definitely one that you might want to pick up and have a go at, but as far as the other ones, the Terrapin Mark 1, it's okay. It's like a Badger at tier 8, except the armor probably doesn't work anywhere near as much as the Badger does at tier 10, and then the Excelsior is awful, so don't go picking that one up unless you want a pain in the head. So yeah, those are the info for this week on World of Tanks. Of course, if you want to check out some more detailed information on World of Tanks, then you can look in my previous videos that we've done, the Avoid This update, which is just looking at the tank trade-in event, as well as the new Armadillo tank. We go over all of that, and then previously on Friday last week, we went over the update patch notes and actual statistic changes that Wargaming are doing this week. So if you want to have a look at that, then you can do in the previous video titled something very similar. As far as anything else, let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions, and if you want to check out those videos, they should be on screen right now. Big thanks to all of the channel members for supporting the channel a little bit further, and of course you for watching this video. Thank you very much, and goodbye.